Our next guest certainly isn't a gangster. He's a real decent man and a professional rapper. He's finding it funny, I'll have to check that. But with solid values, as his work titled Nelson Mandela is one of the many evident examples.
Here to give us his insight into the world of rap and the importance of creativity helping to lead young people is Shakeel Romero. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to The Life.
How are you doing? You
Do we define you as a rap artist? Or
lately people keep calling me a rapper, but I started off as a spoken word artist. To be honest, there's not that much of a difference coming from my perspective, but hey, you never know. Some people beg to differ, but I don't. I think it's pretty much the same thing. It's putting words together and being creative and sending a message out there.
Fantastic. Well, listen, what's your take on this? Because obviously the reason this video report's come to light as well is obviously the fact that there is now obviously NWA's films come out looking at the journey of NWA. It seems to me, I don't know about you, but it seems to me that since kind of the NWA's time in Compton, there hasn't really been a hub for creativity to come out of kind of one particular place. There's a lot of we're seeing a lot of talent on the sofa. Often we have people internationally coming, but there isn't really a hub here in the UK. Or am I blissfully ignorant?
There has been. There definitely has been. Well, I'll say a few years ago. To name a crew, So Solid Crew. This is when I was about 10, 11 years old. They come out of South London, and they really just like pushed the whole kind of rap/grime thing. Grime's a different type of rap, by the way, it's a bit faster. They were one group and they really had a massive impact on the youth in London, especially South London. And from there, different groups and different crews kind of stood up and started rapping, and then it became a bit more of a widespread and a bit more of a higher platform kind of thing. But other than that, lately, I can't really say there's been one group or one gang that's kind of spread their message out there as a unit. It's more been individual artists or small groups.
Has the scene changed, or has the image of rap and rap artists changed? I was mentioning to Joseph earlier, once upon a time, whenever you thought of rap, it was associated with violence, and it was very derogatory. I mean, we were talking about women's equality. It was very derogatory to women, and terms that were used weren't the best of terms, shall we say. So has it changed much? I wouldn't,
just to kind of correct you there, just share a bit more light on it. It didn't start off as really a negative thing or pro-gangster or, you know, like showing their crimes and whatnot more. There was one crew, they would speak about like women's rights, and they'll talk about it'll be more black power and we need to go and get educated and we need to know our roots and our history. And everyone knew of this group. And then after that, this is why it was such a big thing. If you go to watch the film, it was such a big thing because it was a complete opposite, and a new load of black guys have come out. And all they're rapping about now is not a lady's not a queen anymore, she's a swear word.
Yeah.
Or a man's not a king anymore, or a great role model, he's the N-word. And plus, their group was called NWA, something with attitude, you know what I'm trying to say? So that's when the negativity started coming out, and I'll bust my strap and I kill this guy and kill that guy. So coming to nowadays, I would say from then to where we are now, a lot has changed. And I feel like it's not really so much more about who's the baddest, it's who's got more money, who can outdo people in terms of their belongings and how many girls you get. But then there's still rappers at the same time that do talk about, you know, I'll do this and I'll do that, but I notice it's more kind of in the UK.
Well, listen, I've only got 21 seconds to go.
Tick, tick, tick.
So you do know about that solid,
That's as bad as the pressure goes.
That's terrible. That was a terrible,
I'll bust some
terrible
moves. We're outside Ramadan.
Need to get signed, man.
That's the end of me on this channel. So what I was going to say is, you, of course, are a great example. You combine your deen and your talent and your art, if I may say so, absolutely perfectly. So what's so different with respect about you? What stands out, and what's your message to other young people who aspire to be you? And I'm sure there are many watching this who are touched by what you're saying.
Yeah, this is put in a nutshell. Number one, far from perfect, and I do try my best to like collaborate the thing with myself, but I'll be honest, I just try to be as real as possible, and I know it's most artists or rappers out there, the ones that are the most real and honest to themselves are the ones that go more further in life or in their career. So I just try to keep it real. I'll tell you, you know, about great legends and whatnot. At the same day, I'll release a song about how I'm feeling and my mood and the struggles that I go through, and me and the youth my age, what our struggle actually is. And I'll just keep it 100% real. And a few other spoken word artists that you'll probably hear about do the same thing. It's just about keeping it absolutely real, not lying, and and not pretending that things are all lovely and la-di-da, and they're far from. You know, we live in the UK, we're in London, and things are hard. And at the same time, we're still trying to practice our deen. And that's what I try to deliver to the table and make it clear.
The perception I had being in the Gulf was that grime and rap and everything was a lot more bigger and booming than it is perhaps over here. What's your take on that?
Grime over here is big, and rap now is getting bigger because there's a few artists that have now been signed and they've released an album out. Those people that know have released an album, and it's like made a lot of people say, wow, like rap's really coming to the UK now. And I'm sure a lot of people have heard there's big American rappers have come over and performed alongside with English rappers, and it's just lifted the game completely up. But now there's a platform that, okay, a lot of these rappers are talking about negative things, where's the positive rappers?